Hello everyone, Hazah here, and welcome back to Hazah Talk. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I thought a good way to start a new year is with a new Hazah Talk. So, it's been a year since Mario and Luigi Brothership came out, and I'm already wondering what the future of this series is going to have. So, I thought I would make this video to give you guys some very cool ideas of what Nintendo can do for the Mario and Luigi series on Switch 2. Now, I guess you can say this is like a short sequel to my previous Hazah Talk, Mario and Luigi Fraternal History. If you want to check that video out, click the card above me and come back here when you're done. So, without further ado, here is the top 4 ideas for the future of Mario and Luigi. Idea number 1, Nintendo DS NSO. Now, I think a Nintendo DS on Nintendo Switch Online would be a very cool idea, and games like Mario and Luigi Partners in Time and Bowser's Inside Story would 100% be one of the lineups for it. Now, of course, playing this game might be tricky because this will be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. Now, Partners in Time would 100% be easy to play on TV mode, since the touchscreen is pretty much useless throughout the whole game until you have to scratch out Toadbird's drawing. Bowser's Inside Story, however, it's a different story, because it requires the touchscreen at all times. For the touchscreen, you would have to play the game on handheld mode, because I can't imagine playing the games on the TV mode. Of course, you can use the Switch 2's mouse controls for the touchscreen parts, but that would make it difficult to play on TV mode, so you are definitely better off playing the game on handheld mode. Imagine a Switch 2 accessory of a Nintendo DS stylus. Now that would be bizarre. Idea number 2, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time Remake. Now, Nintendo and Alphadream remade Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story on the 3DS, but they completely skipped Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, cause apparently that game is the least popular. I personally think it would be an amazing idea if they remade Partners in Time. This is the game that deserved a remake. And I bet a lot of people can agree with me on this. Like, they can either use the 3DS assets, or maybe the Brothership assets for this remake. I personally think that would be very, very cool. Like, imagine the Elder Princess Shrew boss fight in full 3D with cinematic shots. That would be epic! If Nintendo did remake Partners in Time, it would be their chance for this game to finally shine and give the love it deserves. The story, the music, the gameplay, everything. The only thing I want them to change is to bring the bro points back, and actually have them use syrup jars instead of special attacks being actual items. I didn't have too much of a problem with them, but I don't want to constantly waste my coins for more bros attacks. Thankfully they brought the bros points back in the future games, so I think it will make sense to bring bros points back for this remake. Now, for both remakes, they had the minion quests, which I find it a bit boring because it's just me barely even doing anything while the game plays itself. So maybe they could do a side story exclusively for Bowser, because throughout Partners in Time, Bowser was barely present until the middle of the game where you have to chase him down in Thwomp Volcano. And it doesn't even need to be a minion quest game. It can legit have the standard Bowser's Inside Story battle system, and his story can lead up to his confrontation with the bros and meeting his past self. That would make the remake even better. If you guys think this game deserves a remake, you let me know in the comments below. For now, let's move on to idea number 3. Idea number 3, Mario and Luigi Brothership Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Yeah, I know this is going to sound hypocritical of me to add this because I think Nintendo Switch 2 editions of a certain game is kinda dumb in my opinion, because some games that have Switch 2 editions only contain better versions of the game, which it barely makes a difference. But games like Super Mario Party Jamboree and Super Mario Bros. Wonder that have Switch 2 editions have bonus content added, so I will give them credit for that. But if Nintendo were to announce this, I want to beat them to it. So what can they do on the Switch 2 edition of Brothership? Well, with the Switch 2's power, it can probably fix the long loading screen times, because that's the only thing I didn't like about the game, because the loading time is pretty much long, almost like 15 to 20 seconds, which might not sound bad, but if you finish the battle and it's stuck on the loading screen, that would get frustrating. Now, what else can they add to the Switch 2 edition of this game? Well, I am thinking maybe they can add an extra story in this. maybe they can bring back old enemies from the past games, like maybe some of the Shroob survivors, or maybe Popple, and the Elite Trio. That would make a very good story, and a good callback to the past games. Or maybe they can add that battle ring from the past 3 games, where you can fight harder versions of the bosses. They didn't add it to Brothership, so it would be a good chance for them to add that in. Alright, it's time to head over to the final idea. And before we do that, quick note, the idea I'm about to talk about, the artwork being shown belongs to Attitude Master 4605 and Master Nintendo 46 on Reddit, and the trailer footage belongs to Jaota on YouTube. I just want to get that out of the way. So, let's go on to the final idea! Idea number 4, Mario and Luigi Superstar Collection. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this, and I've seen a bunch of videos about it, and I personally think a Superstar Collection would be an awesome idea. All 5 games, if not the first 3 games, playable on the Switch too. Now, I don't know if they will add all 5 games onto the collection. It really depends how big the file is, and whether they're comfortable remastering all of those 5 games from scratch. But if they can't, it would make more sense for them to just remake the first 3 games like Superstar Saga, Partners in Time, and Bowser's Inside Story. Again, that really depends on Nintendo. And if they do, that would mean they will have to alter the controls to make the game playable without the touchscreen. Now, in terms of graphics, that is a hard choice to make. They can either use the ROMs themselves, or they like to call it Legacy, with some small changes to it. Or, they can use the 3DS graphics along with remaking Partners in Time, or they can remake all 3 games from scratch using the Brothership assets. If this got announced, I am buying this in a heartbeat, not caring how expensive it is. If it's Mario and Luigi, I am so buying it. This would give new Mario and Luigi fans a chance to play the first 3 games, without paying a subscription, of course. This would be a really awesome idea for Nintendo to do. And if they somehow watch this, I hope they consider this. And there you have it. Those are my top 4 ideas for the future of Mario & Luigi RPG for Switch 2. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to do character content again by the time February starts, so don't worry, they are not going anywhere. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. How about to the Mizah, y'all? Woo!